Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Gens Before Friends. I'm here with my lovely co hosts. We have Queen Amgie
Hello.
and Morbid Plum.
Hello.
And there's been quite a bit going on with
Mhm.
DBD. Some good, some questionable. But let's start with good,
Mhm.
right? Let's start with Alan Wake's in the game.
Woo
Woo woo.
Yay! Yeah, so Alan, we talked about PTV. But now he's in the game, and we've gotten some of the legendary cosmetics. We now know that Saga Anderson is the legendary cosmetic that was not leaked, but was listed. And this last week, we also got another cosmetic for Alan and the Rose legendary cosmetics. So unfortunately, though, let me go back to Saga. The Saga cosmetic does not have any custom voice lines. It doesn't seem like they
Yeah.
got the actress for Saga to do the voice, sadly. So I still bought it, but kind of a bummer, seeing as they got the actors for Alan and Rose to do voice lines. So Rose's cosmetic does have her voice lines. She's still as odd as she is in the main game, but and then they also with the Rift, we've is including Alan Wake as well. So we're gonna get tons of stuff for Alan Wake in
Mhm.
the Rift. If you buy into the Rift level 1, you get basically the Mr. Scratch cosmetic from Alan
Mhm.
Wake 2, just not bloodied like he is in Alan Wake 2. It's Alan wearing the Kabbalah Knights jacket and with the Mr. Scratch hairdo, which I'm very excited about. I don't know if y'all have any thoughts on the cosmetics. I'm the one that has played Alan Wake, so and here I'll just plug myself. I'm playing through Alan Wake 1 on my channel, Mockingbird Gaming, to kind of share the lore with all of y'all. So
Mhm.
you do see Rose. Rose is in Alan Wake 1 and 2, but she doesn't wear the diner outfit as much in 2, but it's the more iconic look for her, especially from Alan Wake 1. I don't know if y'all have any thoughts on Alan Wake or not. I could
Well,
just like go on and on.
yeah. Alan Wake podcast win. Um, no, I'm enjoying the Alan Wake cosmetics. I do agree that I wish, is it Saga?
Saga, yes.
Saga, okay. I do wish Saga had voice lines. I'll tell you what, she does have one heck of a scream when she gets hooked. Very loud.
She is very
But
loud.
yeah, I do enjoy the cosmetics. I think overall, just thrift in general with other things have some pretty good cosmetics. There's a Michaela outfit I totally want. 'Cause I gotta get all her stuff 'cause she's my girl. But I do like that they came out with Mr. Scratch, 'cause I know that's something they had talked about. So overall, I think Alan Wake was a pretty decent release and a lot of stuff that I think made the Alan Wake fandom pretty happy. So, and I'm excited to watch your playthrough.
Me
Um,
too.
so I can have some better context into the lore because I know that they put stuff in lore-wise that I don't think if you played the games you probably would miss.
Yeah, I haven't checked out too much of the Rift lore yet. Of course, not all the Rift is out, but I have not like gone and
Mm-hmm.
I know it's out on like the wiki and stuff. So, Morbid, did you have any thoughts? I know you just got
Um,
him like today.
I know. I literally just bought him while we were playing before we started recording. But no, I mean I'm excited. I've been pouring blood points into him so I could play him more and try out his perks and whatnot. But yeah, I think like I said last time, I've not really ever played the game. I've or heard you talk about it, and I think I might have watched you play it, but I know very little, so I feel like I'm kind of an outsider on that. I don't have any opinions other than he seems pretty cool.
Nothing wrong with that. He is cool.
Yeah, and I do like his storyline, like that you've told us about. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's cool that he's a writer and he gets,
Mm-hmm.
stuck in this not dimension, but like this other place, and it's just kind of cool. It's a unique story, and I'm kind of glad it came to DVD.
Yes, I love the story of Alan Wake. Alan Wake 2 is probably like my favorite game right now. I'm playing through the final draft, which is their new game plus. So it has new lore and has a new ending. So I haven't finished it yet, so no spoilers, listeners, on what the new ending is. But it's a very good game. All of Remedy's games are really good, and they're connecting all their games together. So there's just so much to the story. I will talk. Let's talk about a perk combo though that has recently come up.
Hmm.
I don't know if Morbid is aware of this. So people have been pairing Champion of Light, right? You move a little bit faster when you shine the flashlight with
Mhm.
Fixated, and
Hmm.
apparently you move like running speed while you're shining the
Ooh.
flashlight.
Okay.
I have tried it, but I've only tried it in a couple rounds. I was not very successful, but I've seen people get like a blind off mid chase
Oh, wow.
I
by
don't know if it's
like
like
running
running
backwards.
speed, but it is like,
I think Ots did a test.
is
It's
it, he did a
almost,
test. Ots would
or
do a
it
test. He
might be a
would
little bit
time it and
slower.
everything. I think it's just a tad slower,
I think it's a
but it
tad
helps
slower,
with
but
the decrease that
yeah,
is there.
I might have to try this out.
I think Ots and Hens did a test on it to see.
Or at least watch somebody play.
Because I want to say he was like slowly catching up.
Hmm.
Like I think Hens was the one with the flashlight and Ots was chasing after him. So you might be a little bit slower, but I mean still like for being in chase and trying to use it,
Hmm.
it's pretty good. And I'm surprised no one thought of that in PTB because I feel like PTB is where everyone figures
Right?
out the shenanigans.
I feel like that's where everybody is like, hey, this works. And then by the time the game comes out, it's already a meta.
I feel like with a lot of the perks initially, they were just trying to, I don't know, because we have a kind of mentioned that his perks feel a little lackluster, and we wish that they would have done other things. But I think they, I don't know, it's hard to, with the PTB, that people were doing on other, I don't know, logical things with the perks, and less of how can I try to move faster. Or they were, because the champion light also has the hinder effect, so I feel like I'm gonna get my words here eventually. I feel like they were trying to use other perks that also had other status effects on the killer, and
Mm-hmm.
less than trying to accommodate or trying to play off of the haste effect the perk gives you,
Mm-hmm.
until someone was like, "Hey, it has the haste effect." If that makes any sense.
Yeah. I think the only perk I still have an issue with theme wise is Deadline. I don't know why he has Deadline. I feel like this should be like in the next chapter, which I have not been paying attention to any of the teasers, but because we should get PTV this week or next week
Hmm.
already.
I feel like they might be kind of running out of ideas for some of the perks. Like, I don't know what to do anymore because there are a lot of them.
There are a lot of perks. I
There's
just feel
tons.
like Deadline doesn't really fit him.
Mm,
Just like what the perk does. And then it's like a very niche perk too.
Hmm.
And I think for a paid DLC, I feel like it should have had more oomph to it, I guess. Like, because it is
Yeah.
behind a paywall, basically.
it's true.
And
Deadline's
so,
very situational
mm-hmm,
as well. For those that, so just give a brief on Deadline. So, Deadline, it's whenever you're in the injured state, it activates and it increases the odds of triggering skill checks by, could be up to 10% if you have the perk maxed out while parrying or healing. It causes skill checks to appear in random places, which is very disorienting, and it reduces the penalty for missed skill checks by 50%. So again, like you have to go into the match with other perks on, like people are doing like autodidact, other perks that kind of help with that because you're having those increased skill checks will help with whatever you're doing, but it also means that you're going to be sacrificing like your aura reading perks or your gin perks or team perks. Like you have to have a very niche build to get it to work.
yeah, you basically are trying to do either a fast heal
Yeah,
build with autodidactic, or you're trying to do a gen speed build.
gin
You
speed
put it
build.
with hyper focus,
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Hyper focus.
and whatever other gen perks you want to put with it. But basically, like trying to get more skill checks so you get more progress on the gens.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's the only perk I'm like, I mean, it's not the end of the world. That's not why I bought Alan Wake, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I just a little disappointed in that perk still.
Yeah.
And I would have rather had another perk that like blinds the killer or something. I don't know. It's just because of the theme of the game. I'm like, I expected a little bit more. I mean, they do have Champion Light. That is a flashlight perk. Boon Illumination is fine. But like none of the perks are like
In your face,
OP.
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Champion Light now has been the talk because of the fixated
Yeah.
thing. I've seen Pixel Bush do it. So I feel like that's the one that's being talked about the most, but not really that much. I just feel like with every chapter, there's usually like a perk that everyone thinks is going to be a problem. And we
Yeah.
don't have that with Alan Wake. We don't
That
have
is
a perk
true.
that's a
Yeah.
problem.
Because we have something very niche. We have something Boon Illumination that, I
It's
mean,
info.
if
It's just
it's
info.
information, if solo queue, I could see benefits. Champion of Light, I prefer that perk more for the status effect it gives, but I am horrible with flashlights. So for people who run flashlights, I can see how you can get use out of it and how they would want to try to go faster. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're right. There really is nothing that is like meta changing for this chapter in regards to the perks.
No. But I still love Alan Wake.
Sadness. Yeah, we love him. We love his cosmetics.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
they've done great on those.
Hmm.
Yes. And so, some of the other cosmetics they put in was the cosmetic from the first game, Alan
Hmm.
Wake 1. And then they also have a cosmetic. He wears it in Alan Wake 2, but it's kind of a throwback also to Alan Wake American Nightmare. He has the black and white flannel shirt and very wet hair. So it is more the
Hmm.
Alan Wake 2 look.
Mm.
And I think that's it. The Cavala Knights, Mr. Scratch, cosmetic, right? And then Saga and Rose. And Rose
Hmm.
has custom voice lines where she's like, we gotta find Alan and he'll give me a clue. So if you're not, so I'll give a little background on Rose because since I'm replaying Alan Wake 1, I say she's kind of an oddball. She is like obsessed with Alan, but not like creepy obsessed, I'll at least say. Because in replaying Alan Wake 1 in the very beginning, it's not really a spoiler, but like Alan Wake meets her. She's in she works the diner and he's getting the keys for their cabin. And you find a manuscript page later about how she sees Alan leave with his wife, Alice, and she thinks they're a cute couple and she just wants to like be friends with them. Like, so I appreciate she's not like creepy obsessed, like wants to get rid of Alice or anything. Like, she's just very wholesome and she's pretty much obsessed with him and his books, but not like I want to break them up and stuff
Hmm.
like that. So I do appreciate that.
Not like misery style, like,
Yeah, not
right?
misery style. She wants to help Alan. She's very much like is there to assist him, and that's kind of her role in the second game. But so yeah. So she has some like lines in the game where she's like longing for Alan or have to find Alan. You'll give us a clue.
She's just fangirl, that's all.
Yeah.
She is definitely a fangirl. And
He understands fangirls.
she has an important role, I think, in the second game. Actually, in replay, also doing New Game Plus in the second game, I realized in one of the notes that you find that finally put together like Rose knows how to take out the Taken, which are the bad guys, the ones that are possessed by the dark presence, because basically in Alan Wake 2 there's a cult and they have a note where they say like, hey, we found the dead Taken next to like a clue, like the clues that Rose leaves around the map. And I was like, oh,
Mm.
she must have, I finally clicked. I was like, she must have taken him out. Like, go Rose. Like,
Go, you get it, girl. You fight.
but you never really see her fighting it. But she is aware of what's going on, at least by the second game, it seems. But Yes.
I'm
So
glad she was
that
included.
I was surprised she was concluded. Though she was not the one I was expecting. Saga, I was kind of expecting. I was really hoping for maybe we'll get in the future Alex Casey. I would really like Alex Casey to be in the game. They may or may not be able to do voice lines for him since the actor has passed away,
Mm.
but I would still buy it because it'd be awesome because he's a major part of the Alan Wake franchise. So we shall see. I'm sure there's going to be more cosmetics in the future, just like we've seen, Resident Evil
Oh yeah.
cosmetics, and even for Silent Hill too. There was a bunch of legendary cosmetics that came out at one point for Lisa and Sybil. I don't know anything else for Alan Wake.
Mm,
I mean, I
no,
could
I
just talk
think
about
we
the lore,
covered
but then I don't want to
it.
spoil y'all.
You know what? If you want the lore, everyone just go watch the playthrough.
Yep.
I've only got
Shameless plug.
I only got 2 episodes up. I recorded episode 3 yesterday, and I feel like I
Hey,
need to
that's
apologize in advance because I'm having issues with Alan Wake 1 when you play it. I've already played it through once, right? And basically every time you play it after that, it acts like it's New Game Plus. So you can't start it fresh. So I'm trying to find a
aw.
walkthrough that will tell me
Lame.
what order to read the notes in because I have all the notes, but you don't find the notes in order. So
That makes
I
sense.
so
Yeah.
I found one list, but it listed them in chronological order, not the order you find them in. So then I was trying to like piece it together, and I messed up on some of them, but I found another walkthrough today that I think is the right order. So I will try that one for next
How dare
episode.
you? Everyone, we're boycotting the
Gosh.
playthrough.
Oh gosh. I
Things
play
are in the right order.
I blame
How
Epic.
dare you?
So apparently on Steam you can it has to do with cloud syncing. And
Yeah, that makes
you
sense.
can't erase the cloud sync on Epic. You can on Steam, but I don't
Yeah.
want to play it on Steam. I do have the
Yeah.
Steam version, but Epic has the remastered version, so it's the one that looks
Yeah.
better. So Epic, come on.
Get your crap
Like
together.
Get it together.
so that's my dilemma. I'm just like, that's the headache in recording it. Because I think the first episode I just read them in order, and that may not have been right. But anyway, you're still getting to see all the lore
Yes.
and stuff. And so sometimes it matters if they're in the right order, and sometimes it doesn't. Because sometimes some of the notes foreshadow what's coming up, but then some of them are just information. So that's how it is. That is my frustration with Epic and now like
Epic,
remastered.
get together.
Like I just
I'm
need to
gonna write
clear it.
them.
I just
I'm
need
gonna
to
write them a
clear the
strongly worded
history.
letter.
Probably
That's
letter.
Dear Epic Games.
Dear Epic.
But
Epic's gonna be like, whatever.
whatever.
Or they're gonna be like, we need to fix this now.
Um,
I'm gonna go with the
you
first
know
one.
what?
They're
I
not gonna.
applaud your positive thinking.
Yeah. I was like,
Kudos.
you're not gonna care.
I think we need to move on to what Queen really wants to talk about this
Yeah,
Yeah.
episode.
but before that, I do want to mention, yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna I'm gonna be ranting, guys.
There's a
There's gonna be
caveat.
ranting. I know you all love a good queen rant.
I'm excited.
But they did release for Lunar New Year. They did release a New Year cosmetic collection, which actually has a freaking adorable Eugen Lee outfit and Kate Denson outfit. So go
Aw.
check those out. And
Oh,
also like just style tips with Queen. So Eugen has that awful yellow like jumpsuit outfit that has the
I
pink
love
flowers
that
on it.
top.
The top is cute. The top matches the Lunar New Year skirt so well. So guys, rock that. It looks so beautiful. But so they do have those. I don't know if anyone has any thoughts on those two cosmetics.
I saw them today. They are actually I bought one of them and I think they're so cute. I
They're
love
adorable.
Kate's. It's like a little like jacket. Well, it's like a jacket and that has a
Dragon on it.
yeah.
dragon like
It's
wrapped around that's the hood and it is adorable. And it
yeah,
just looks gorgeous. They did such a good job on that one.
it's so cute. It's supposed to be like in the little description it talks about how Kate's like walking around the festival and she bought a dragon plush and like put it around her shoulders. It's a puffy jacket too. I don't know. It just brought me back
Yeah, it
to
just
like
looks
high school.
cool. Yeah, I just love it. I don't know what it is. I was
It's
like,
really
it's
cute.
cool. It's so colorful. I think that's part of it.
Yes.
Well, I do like the cosmetics. Actually, I'm going to sidetrack us. It's still Lunar New Year related, but they got rid of the event. We could talk about
Oh
that.
yeah.
I was trying to be positive here.
Well,
Well,
Yeah,
I really like the envelopes and stuff like
I
that they
do
did last year,
too.
so I'm kind
and
of
I have
disappointed.
so many of them left over that I can't use them.
Yeah,
True, that's very
and
true.
they did state that the lights out wasn't a replacement of the event.
Better not.
Mm,
Coming up, you'll find out why.
But
foreshadow.
I do enjoy, like, we've always enjoyed the Lunar New Year events with the envelopes. So like we have these envelopes that we have saved up that we're not gonna be able to use. Like I wish they would just let us use the blood points. Like there's so many things that are like event related in
Mm.
regards to what we earn that we can't use for blood points and stuff. But
Hmm.
yeah, so no Lunar New Year event, unfortunately. So I'm not sure if I'm in agreement with Lights Out's not supposed to replace it,
Hmm.
but I think it would have been nice if they would have let us know sooner that there was an
Yeah,
event.
it was kind of last minute because it was in the live stream, I guess.
Yeah.
And I find it also kind of odd because I thought they were trying to up the number of events they do.
Mhm.
I thought so too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
And
like I
I,
remember them mentioning that in one of the live streams, but I could be
yeah,
wrong.
because
I
they
have to
were
go back.
like going to add a lot of like smaller events. And so I don't understand why they're taking this one out, especially since they've done it in the past. So it's like it's already should be like set up to go, right?
Yeah.
I
Minus
mean,
like new cosmetics or anything they
yeah,
put
but
in
I mean,
or
like,
Rift Pass.
yeah, I guess those things. But like, as far as the gameplay element of like find the envelope, and then you like collect the envelopes, and then people get cosmetics, and yay. So I don't know. I
I
just find
think
it
also
odd.
There's
like
firecrackers. It's fun.
yeah, looking at the roadmap, I wish it was kind of like, hey, we didn't do the event because of we have something else planned that's taking our time and resources. But it was just like, no, we didn't do it, and Lights Out's not supposed to be a replacement. And I had to break the news to some people the other day. Like, I was talking to some other friends who play DVD, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, we're so excited for the Lunar event. When's it coming out?" And I was like, well, you see here,
What
it's
happened
it's
was.
not." But they're like, "But they're releasing cosmetics," and I'm like, "Ah, yeah, I know. I completely get that. It does say like Lunar New Year collection, but there's no like event. There's nothing fancy to wear your cosmetics to 'cause we're not doing an event." But you can buy them and run around and not see things.
Yeah, I mean, they have collections for all sorts of things as far as cosmetics, so
Yeah.
that aren't event related, but it is kind of a bummer. Sorry, I brought us down a little bit
That's okay.
before we
How
go even further
I was before
down.
we
dare
go
you?
further
Um,
down.
I mean, we're gonna get like PTB maybe next week. Yay! This week, I don't even
Yay!
know. I have not paid attention. I've been a
I haven't
bad
either.
DVD
Well,
content creator. I know they've been releasing teasers and it's original. I just feel like Alan Wake just came out. Like, why are we at PTB already?
I know it's gone by
well,
so fast.
not only that, it's like how interesting has gameplay been recently?
Mm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's been great.
Well, I feel like okay, this is like off topic, but like we just had Alan Wake, and I'm not saying the previous chapters have been bad. We got like we've talked about before. We've had some really good licensed chapters. Like we've had 4 licenses in a row.
They have
But
been lackluster though in regards to I don't think they did what behavior thought they would do.
Yeah.
yes, but I feel like I have like chapter fatigue. If that makes
I
Mm,
sense.
completely agree with you.
I
Okay.
agree.
It's overwhelming.
I feel like I don't even get to fully appreciate or experience one chapter, and then it's like because they do a chapter and then they do mid chapter patch. So I mean it is like 3 months, but I feel like there could be more time in between. And especially when they do these paragraph chapters is what they call them, where it's just one character. So like we had Chucky and we have Alan Wake, and so it's just like, so then those two are like closer together than the 3 months apart period. So I feel like it's just been content overload.
Feels a little saturated, if that makes sense. Like
Mhm.
a
I
lot
agree.
going on at once. And not only that, it also goes with all the changes they're making. Like, we've had chapters 4 or so months ago, 5 or so months ago, and now they're changing all the perks related with those chapters. And it's like, you know, a lot is changing. Like I'll go in the game and I'll be like, I don't remember what the name of this perk originally was, or what this perk originally did, or what does it do now. It can be all very like kind of like overwhelming. But I get what you're saying by it kind of being like oversaturated. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot. And it goes to my thing like sometimes with games like I wouldn't mind having less updates if like or more time between updates if what we got with an update was more, I'm trying to find the right words, better quality is all I can really think of in regards to the thought process that it took to put it together. Like I wouldn't mind to go longer time between things in order
Mm-hmm.
for them to know how things need to change. Because if you're constantly adding in new perks, it really doesn't give it time for things to settle so they can actually find out like, oh yeah, the new meta is this and maybe we should look into changing this. Like I feel like it's just like I don't know, like it's even though it's a horror game, there's not a state of calm. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think they'll ever take a break though, because this is how they make their money, right? Is all these new
Yeah,
Yeah.
chapters.
but
And I wish,
quality over
I
quantity.
know, because there's been an argument made from different creators like please have like a health update. Like
Mm-hmm.
take out a
Yes, that would.
chapter and
Mhm.
work on game health. Work on your coding. Like fix it so that when one thing comes in, you don't break. Because I don't know if they fixed the hex play thing. Hopefully they fixed the hex play thing bug. If y'all knew about that, I can't remember if that was before Alan Wake, where survivors could not see the aura of their totem for a plaything.
Oh yeah.
I think that may have gotten
Um,
fixed with Alan Wake, but like they
I
didn't
think it
say
got
anything.
fixed,
They didn't say any. It's like the Merciless Storm bug a while back. Like the paper said nothing about it.
and I also feel like that happens a lot when it's a killer perk
I
instead of a survivor
I
one,
wonder
Yeah,
if it's.
historically
exactly.
speaking.
I kind of feel like maybe it's not even that. Like maybe it's they, because you're like, why don't they kill switch it? Maybe they know if they kill switch it, they like the game will like shut down or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
But actually, I think I remember watching one content creator. I think it was Running Man talk about, because he was the one I saw on Twitter reporting about it. And apparently, behavior wasn't going to kill switch it because it didn't actually like break the game, like cause the game to like, freeze and
Oh,
turn off, like kind of thing.
yeah.
And
It
I was like,
just
well, that is stupid.
it's creating a
Interesting.
bad
Because I
a
want to
bad
say they've killed,
experience.
yeah, I want to say they've kill switch perks though that have not done that, but were like broken
I think
still.
they have.
Well, they have. There's
They have.
survivor perks and stuff that they kill switch. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me because a perk not working the way it should creates a negative for whatever side it's affecting and
Mm-hmm.
whatever side it's giving a benefit to.
Yeah.
So it's not fair gameplay. Like you have something set up to where, if we get hooked and for Hexplay thing and we get off or running around trying to find our totem, we're able to see it and cleanse it. Not being able to do that means that the killer just has, a boon on us the whole time, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they have a secondary perk because we can't find something. It affects gameplay, just like if, anytime a survivor's had a perk that's affect gameplay for the most part. I feel like it does more impact environment in the game, like, the locker stuff that was happening because of certain perks. Like, I get that, but I think they should be kill switched regardless because it's impacting how the game's being played, and not just because, hey, well, it's not freezing or doing anything horrible. We're not going to worry about it.
I mean, they did kill switch the night for a while.
I know we
Yeah.
had like over a month of no night. It
Yeah.
was a
It was nice.
glorious, like it was like 35, 36 days or
It
something.
was
I can't remember, but
it
it
was
was
an
over 30
amazing
days of,
it was an amazing month.
I know.
Now, if only we
Now,
can get Lady Voldemort.
yes, I was about to say the same. I'm like, that would be glorious. And like, just don't ever turn her back on.
No,
Yeah,
no one needs her.
just someone will forget and it's
Have her
fine.
go on a permanent rich lady vacation.
I know, because they're gonna have to rework her again. Like, I think it's already in the talks. I think they know that too. They didn't do a good rework on her. She's still the same. Like, nothing changed. Now she has like a million status effects she can put on you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's frustrating. And she can still 3 gen. I know they were like, she's a chase killer now. No, she's not. And like, I have played miserable matches where she just puts all the drones on the 3 gen, and you can overlap the not the gens, I'm sorry, the drones. You can overlap the drones. So it's
Yep.
like, there's no like control over how close she puts the drones to each other or anything. So I don't get it. Anyway, we don't need to go on the Lady Voldemort tangent, sorry. But
No. And you know
there,
what? It's
Sorry.
even scary and the new Lights Out Modifier.
oh yeah,
Oh boy, nice
Queen and
nice
I played
segue.
against that day
I was
one.
like, is there not a gen? This person has not put a drone by it. I can't see
Well,
anything.
that and the problem is if you're in chase too, like you can't
Mm-hmm.
see the drone. I couldn't see where the drone radius was, and I would just get a claw trap. It was
Yeah.
miserable. Anyway, let's talk about Queen. Take it. Let's talk about the new
Yeah.
modifier.
So, not in place of them not doing Lunar New Year event, they released their first modifier called Lights Out. What's a modifier? Well, I'll tell you. So, the title of this article that they put out was Dead by Daylight Modifier, Lights Out, Everything You Need to Know. Behavior. I want to give you the definition of everything. Okay? Everything.
According to
It means,
Merriam-Webster.
according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary online, I just typed it in. Everything, all that exists, all that relates to the subject, all that is important. So let's think about that when we talk about everything we need to know about the lights out modifier. And I'm going to read it for you. It says, for the first time, we're excited to announce the arrival of Lights Out, a limited time modifier that brings a terrifying new layer of fear to Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is a horror game that revels in tension and fright, where an adrenaline pumping chase can break out any moment. For those who have been with us for some time, you may have grown accustomed to certain gameplay staples. Perhaps you've memorized their map or figured out how to effectively counter specific characters and playstyles. In other words, we recognize that the longer you spend in the darkness, the more your eyes adjust to the terrors lurking within. Enter Lights Out, a limited time modifier that introduces a new experience for all players of all levels. So it started on February 7th and it's going to the 14th. And the modifier says, what is a limited time modifier? We're glad you asked. Basically, we've been testing a variety of different ways to play Dead by. Whoever writes this,
Sorry, I
chef's kiss.
snorted. I was like, I don't know if we
Uh,
asked. I don't know if we
well, that's what it
asked.
said. They titled this section "What is a limited time modifier?" and the first sentence is "We're glad you asked."
Did we? I think you asked yourselves,
Yeah,
technically.
Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically, we've been testing a variety of different ways to play Dead by Daylight, with Lights Out being our first official modifier. These modifiers grant us some exciting room to play with existing trial format, and we'll be monitoring your feedback to ensure that Lights Out shines as a unique and exciting experience. In this case, we set out to create a modifier steeped in terrifying atmosphere where players would find themselves stripped of several key tools. So basically, they killed the lights, so it's dark. So upon spawning into a trial, the map will be shrouded in darkness, significantly limiting the visibility of your surroundings. Even the most experienced will find it tricky to navigate, and planning an escape route becomes a truly unpredictable endeavor. If that wasn't tense enough, you'll also be going into the trial without perks, so there's no perks, items, add-ons, or offerings. There's no loadouts, there's no scratch marks, there's no terror radius. They did add more chests that have some better items. They did a pool of 4 maps, which was Mount Ormond Resort, Treatment Theater, Family Resident, and the Shattered Square. And it says for survivors, again, no terror radius, so survivors have to contend with that. And because there's no terror radius, essentially it's, the killer can kind of jump scare you. And the survivors, when you run, you won't leave scratch marks, so it'll be harder to, well, I guess they thought harder to find you, but you still leave pools of blood and, you still moan and yell because you're hurt. This is like, they're like, okay, everything you need to know. So again, what they didn't tell you, so as we started playing, we realized that they really did like strip everything. So for survivors, yeah, you don't have scratch marks, you can't have items, there's no terroritis, there's no loadout. But as a survivor, you can't see gen progression, you can't see healing progression, you can't see unlocking a chest progression. You can't see if the killer's camping. You can't see your anti-camp progression bar. There's
Recover.
nothing.
You
Yeah,
can't see
recovering,
how recovered
like
you are.
we can't see how recovered
Oh.
or if you're recovering, like depending on how you do it. Like the first time we're like, am I? I don't know. It just says cancel or not cancel, cancel, not
When
cancel.
is this bar filled? I have no
What's
idea.
yeah, so they didn't tell you that. I think that's part of the everything you need to know is that
Yeah,
you
that
can't
seems
see
important.
any of that stuff. Because people were like, well, there's no anti camping. From my understanding, it's still there. We just can't see it, which would be beneficial to know. Like, I personally would like to know if I'm recovering. I know, like, my other people can't see it, but that's information for me. Like, the gins, okay, I get it. They have the 4 pistons. You can kind of tell by how loud it is and the pistons going, how close you are. But I think there's some things that would be very beneficial to see. Essentially, survivors are kind of stripped of everything. It's not accessible to everybody, so you can't use the heartbeat mechanic because there's no terror radius. So if you have hearing difficulties, there's nothing to help you with any of that. Or if you have any visual difficulties, it is darker. I mean, you can use like filters and stuff. I did use filters to lighten it and stuff like that, but it is even with that extremely dark. So if you have some type of visual impairment, I mean, it's not accessible for everybody. And I get that not all games are supposed to be accessible, but DBD has added recently to mechanics to make the game more accessible, and this modifier completely negates all that was added. So, before I keep ranting, I'll pass it on for anybody else to give their input and their thoughts on this modifier.
Morbid, do you want to go first, or because
Yeah, sure.
you played a whole 2 rounds before we got
I
on
know.
here. How
I
was
was like,
it?
we went through 2 whole rounds, and I had, like, 3 or 4 jump scares that scared the absolute crap out of me. I think it's okay. Like, it was fine. I did watch a few people play on YouTube and on Twitch and stuff, so, yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything else to say.
Oh, okay.
I will okay, as far as that, I will throw in, I guess, like, my 2 cents on the fact that I don't think it should count towards like your ranking because I feel like people were taking it. I know I only played 2 rounds.
So
I
it's a
think
sweaty
people
two
took it a
rounds,
little,
though.
yeah, I don't think it should be that serious. I think it should be like a fun thing. And maybe they throw some other stuff in there that you can do. But I guess from what I was reading online, it does count towards your rank and everything. So some people are taking it still very seriously. And I mean, that's fine, I guess, but I just wanted to have fun and like get the crap scared out of me, which I did, but it was also very sweaty. So there's
That's a
that.
good point. I didn't think about that.
Hmm.
Yeah, when they said that they were coming out with that, I was like, oh, that seems like it'll be fun. And it was not fun at all. I do agree with people on Reddit and things like that, that it shows that there's still a lot in the game that needs to be fixed. I don't know. I guess we'll probably get to this, but the anti-camping mechanism, where I felt like it didn't do anything. I mean, we didn't really have any campers, but some of the people I watched that had campers, it didn't. I don't think it worked. So I don't know if that's part of the everything you need to be aware of scenario that we're
Yeah,
speaking
I
of.
mean, that's
I think with
true.
thing is like, because we had a Legion match, was the last one, which is a whole different thing in itself, going up against Legion. But the Legion essentially hid in a room, and when I went to unhook, they downed me. And I'm just like, is there, like, we don't know. We can't, that's the thing, we can't see it. So is there
Yeah.
proof that anti-camping is even still
Mm-hmm.
working or not? We
Hmm.
don't know. So I've heard some people say it's not there, and I've heard some people say it is there. But I'm like, unless I boot up the game and I camp somebody, I'm not gonna know. Like, because
Yeah.
we can't see it,
And we can't do customs and
and we
lights out
can't do
either.
customs
Which
and
I
test
Hmm.
it out.
oh, that was the other thing I was going to talk about. I wish they had it for customs because playing with your friends
Oh my God.
would be so
Be
much fun.
so much
Yes,
fun.
It would be
it
so
would
much
be.
fun to do kill your friends in this mode. To just jump scare your friends and be like, "Oh, where's Queen at?"
Hmm.
You're
And
not finding me. Because I
yeah,
also know how we would play this mode. We wouldn't play it like this, so we would play a hide and seek.
Oh yeah, we would
yes.
definitely
That's what
go
we would be
crazy.
doing.
I wish I wish this was a hide and seek mode. I wish I wish they could get away from
Gens.
gens. All we can do is gens. Because DVD Mobile we've talked about has come out with prop hunt mode. And I wish there was a mix of some of the prop hunt rules and made this like a hide and seek mode where survivors have to move every minute or they'll maybe get killer instinct. I just feel like it's so dark. I wish we were doing something other than gens.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's what I
wish
was
this
thinking.
mode was a little more creative. I get that it's dark and it's supposed to be creepy. And it is. You get jump scared. But I really wish there was a hide and seek mode where you had to creep around the map
Yeah,
and the
I
killer had to
agree.
find you or something. So I have some
Yeah,
thoughts
I agree.
too. See if I take any of Queen's thoughts because I know she has a lot of thoughts.
I
Um,
I
did I
yeah.
did like the chests give you better
higher quality items.
higher quality items, which I did
Mm-hmm.
like that. And it was okay, minus the part of me being scared half the time and feeling like I was on edge. It was nice to not have all the like annoying stuff popping up. Like just, like things appearing on your HUD, and that was kind of cool. I liked that, but it was still very scary. So,
I was
yeah.
like, what do you mean? We need information.
I know, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I
But
don't.
Like,
yeah, other than that, like my whole two game experience was great.
I
Okay,
just
why did I
like,
say it was
Well,
great? It wasn't great. It was okay.
it
well, it
was
is like
it's
for survivors, it's scary. Like
it's
you're
very
on it. Like
stressful.
it's not a relaxing gameplay. And
No.
Mm-mm.
again, like I know I've mentioned this. I don't like scary things. I don't like being jump scared. It's not my thing. And then you're like, oh, Queen, why are you playing Dead by Daylight? Because all my crazy fins were playing, and I didn't want to be left out. And it's one of like the few like co-op games that can be fun when you're swiffing. That's not a farming simulator, you know? And I do enjoy it. I like the mind game of it, and I like having perks that suit my style of playing. Like, I think that's fun, but I was just absolutely like the whole time, I'm just terrified. Like, I don't want to sit in a gym. I just want to sit in a corner and hide. Like, I don't want to go for unhook because I don't know where they are. Like, it's terrifying. And
Mm-hmm.
we did, and also, like, just throwing this out there, everyone who's played Survivor, how many times did you escape? Like, out of all the rounds we played, one I think was a legit escape, and then one Maki and I bribed the killer with
Oh,
items.
Mike. Yeah, Mikey. He was so
Mikey.
nice. We
But
brought him
other
Aw.
than that,
gifts.
I haven't had any other escapes. And for the most part, like Legion, and that's the thing as well, like the killer still has the killer power. So Legion still
Oh,
gets
that's
what
true,
it,
yeah.
you know, knows where everybody is all the time as long
Mm-hmm.
as they're in frenzy. And that's just like we've had people giving up on a hook. Because again, it's like kind of like, well, they're gonna know where we are, and are we gonna heal? Are we gonna do gens? Like, I feel like it's very killer sided. Like, I talked to some people who are having fun, and I've been asking, like, what have you been playing? Survivor and Killer. Like, oh my gosh, Killer. I was like, yeah, of course you're having fun.
You
Mm-hmm.
could see
You're jump
people.
scaring and you're killing everybody. Like, yeah, you're having fun. I was like, how about when you played Survivor? Did you get out? And all of them were like, no. I went back to Killer because Killer's fun. I'm like, well, that proves his point.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did play. I played some killer. It's fun sneaking up on people, but I'm also a horrible killer, and I almost 4K'd, and I have no skill in killer. And I'll tell you what, it was because they couldn't see what they were doing. It was because they couldn't see me. It's not because I'm a skilled killer, you know. Oh, and another thing, I know I'm jumping all over the place. So
Okay. It is what
something
it
in
is.
they something, in order for survivors to hear the gens, all the gens started at I think like 5%.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. The killer can go around and kick them and put it to 0 so you can't hear them. So again, if you don't know a basic layout of the maps, and I'll admit, like for the most part, I'm somewhat okay with the maps. Not great with Shattered Square. Mount Ormond I know pretty well. Treatment Theater, and like it still has the flashing lights in Treatment Theater to kind of designate like there's something here. Family Residence, yeah, I just kept getting lost. But having the gen start at a 5% is completely negated if the killer can then kick it and reduce it to 0. Have it start out at 5% and make it stay that way. So
Mm-hmm.
the killer can't reduce it because there has been matches where like we were running around at our last match. Like, where's the gin? Where's the gin? And we're like, we keep running past them because we
Yeah.
couldn't. We were relying on being able to hear the gin, and the killer completely took that away. And I don't think that is fair. So if you're gonna have a mechanic and be like, hey, survivors, don't worry if you don't know the maps, just run around and listen for a gin. If the killer can kick it and put it to 0, they can't run around and listen for a gin.
Yeah, I agree. I
Why?
think they should at least disable some of the stuff on killer side, which I don't know how they would do that, but
Okay. I
if
think
we can't have auras and stuff, they shouldn't be able to either.
that's what the point I was going to bring up. I think killers
Mm-hmm.
should not be able to see the gens. Or if killers are going to complain so much, then they could see the gens like the first 10 seconds of the match and then that's it. To be like,
Yeah.
"Okay, there's the gen placement. Now I need to deal with it." I feel like they should be as blind as the survivors and they're not.
Yeah.
Especially depending on which killer you're playing. Like we talked about Legion, with the killer instinct.
Mm-hmm.
And I did Bird Mommy, the artist.
He
And
dominated Bird Mommy. It was
I,
so cool
yeah,
to
Bird
watch, but
Mommy
I
was
felt
actually
so
pretty
bad.
good.
Mommy.
I
I
felt
love
so
Bird.
bad,
Yeah.
but it was so nice to watch.
I don't really play her that much either. So
It's so
again,
good.
like skilled, I mean, I'm an okay killer, but yeah, because of her power though, you can
Yeah,
patrol the gens and I can see the aura of the gens. It would be completely different if I didn't know where the gens were, right?
you wouldn't know where to
Yeah.
shoot your
You wouldn't
birds.
know where to shoot the birds. It's the same with like most of the killers. You wouldn't know where to go. You wouldn't know where to patrol. And it makes the three gen situation all the more worse, of course, because the survivors, you don't know where the gens are. And like Queen said, if you kick them, then they're silent. And then if you do get on the silent one and then the killer comes by and they hear progress, of course they know you're there. I feel, yeah, killer is definitely at the advantage. Now, did I 4K all my killer rounds? No, because I didn't really try the 3 gen. And I think even if you don't kill all the survivors, you can still get satisfaction out of this mode, like jump scaring people or having like,
Hmm.
I played Trapper on Larry's and had like some really good
Oh
place
man.
traps. And it was just like, whenever you catch someone in a trap, there's like satisfaction. So,
Satisfaction. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's just like,
Stealth would be great. A stealthy killer would
oh,
be
oh,
so
and this
much
is
fun.
what I found out. I think watching Spooky was that even so like for Michael and Ghostface, even though you might not be able to visibly see the survivors, you can still get stalk on
You
them. So
can
like the
still, yes.
range, so
Yeah.
the range is still the same for
Mhm.
stalk. It doesn't have to be visible. It's not like you have to be able to actually
I can
physically
confirm
see.
that because I played Michael. You don't have to actually see them. And the same goes for Ghosty and revealing him.
Hmm.
My first match that I had with a Ghosty this weekend, I didn't see him at all, and I revealed him multiple times.
That happened on Spooky's video as
Hmm.
well. He kept getting
Hmm.
revealed and he was like, "Where are they? Where are they?" And he was like, it was funny.
Yeah, because they're just looking in a direction. And that's how I know we had a ghost phase loaded in. And all of a sudden I'm like, am I revealing a ghosty? I don't know where he I was in a
There you
corner.
are.
He
I'm
was
like,
upset at me, and I got
I am
tunneled out.
so
Oh
confused.
gosh. Well, it's I could see that being frustrated if like you can't see the survivor either. It's like frustrating
Hmm.
on both sides. Like when you're going against Michael, like you can't see him, but he's still getting stalked. And as
He's being stalked on
Ghosty,
you.
you're trying to get stalked on someone, but you can't see that they're looking at you because usually it's ghost face, and you're going to try to break line of sight and hide
Yeah,
behind an object so you can stay revealed. So it's kind of weird that like the mechanics on killer like didn't change. I'm sure that would be too
Mhm.
much work, and they'd break something in the
It's
process.
so hard. I don't want to do that.
And of course, Freddy is disabled in this mode too, for obvious
hmm,
reasons, because then you could just go to the gens and kick them. I think a buff I would like to see for Survivor in this mode, if they bring it back, is that Survivor should have Iron Will. And not Iron Will as it is now. I'm talking about old school Iron Will,
old school Iron Will,
100%.
100%.
Like, because if you want to make this game more mode more interesting, make it so it's harder to find the survivors, because I feel like because you can't see anything, you can't find anyone, right? So I feel like I'm injured most of the time in this mode. So make it with that you have Iron Will. Make it harder for the killer. And also it would make like some fun chases too, to see if you could like go hide in a bush, right? Like
Oh
and
yeah, for
escape.
sure.
So you can still have the pools of blood, I guess, but like make it so they're quiet, because it's harder to heal. Because I feel like even though there are more chests, we hardly see med kits. I see like maybe two in a round.
On a lot of maps and a
A
lot
lot
of
of maps,
toolboxes.
flashlights too. I feel
Yeah,
like I see everything but the med kits. I did find one in our last match, but it's only one heal. And I really can't imagine playing Survivor solo and enjoying it.
yeah.
Like, at
And
least if I play with y'all, I can be like, okay, let's meet up and go heal.
You
Yeah,
just
I
need
could.
so much more information on solo.
yeah. And that's what
Yeah.
Polly was saying. Someone I was when it came out. It was so funny. The day it came out, I had like so many streams up with so many people, whether they played Killer or Survivor, and all about, I don't know, maybe like 2 hours into the stream, they all switched back to regular. Like if they were playing Survivor. And one of the things when I was listening to Polly, people were like, "Well, how'd you enjoy it?" And he was like, "Well, like he goes, I can't imagine this in solo. Like I don't think this would be fun in solo." He goes, I had fun even though it wasn't great with my playing with my friends. And I will say, like, I always have fun playing with my ladies here.
Oh yeah.
And also it's nice to have people to be frustrated with. But I agree with him. Like, I can't imagine solo playing this because you have absolutely no information, and a big part of this game is having information. And I think this just shows that hey, like with even less information, it's even easier for a killer. And again, it's not because these killers are skilled when they're utilizing mechanics to find, like using Legion. I, a lot of people in the chats were like, "Oh my gosh, this is like my 10th back-to-back Legion match. I'm so tired of this." Like
I did not play
it's
Legion, FYI,
yeah.
because I heard about
Yeah.
them. Like, no, I'm not going to do that to people. Like,
I know, it was horrible.
I tried
Wha-
to play a variety and see how
Yeah, because one of
well
our
they did
matches had it
on.
and it was not fun.
Yeah.
There has been a lot of Wesker because Wesker could move across the map very fast.
Hmm.
I
Um,
noticed that.
I had
Well, Chucky
had
can too. Chucky is
Oh
super fast.
yes.
Chucky.
I played
Spooky went
Chucky.
against Spooky went against a Chucky and it was terrifying.
Oh,
I
I
don't
think
know. I just
I think they should take away the Gen Aura for Killer. It would change it a lot for Killer. I feel like it's so killer sided because the killer knows exactly where to go still. And I mean, they did
Hmm.
keep some of the aura reading for Survivor. Like, you do see when a survivor's knocked down. Like, I was able to get a flashlight save when we first played it. So they do keep some of the auras. And if you're on Hook, you can see the aura of your teammates. But that's hardly anything. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, you're on hook. You can't do anything.
No, I mean, you
Yeah.
can call out, like, if you're on Swift, you can call out, well, Rando's over here. And I mean, you can see when people are down, but you can't see recovery. So then you don't know if they're recovering or not. you don't know how close to recovery they are because I've had so many rounds, especially solo, where people get down and they give up and they're not even recovering. And so now
Yeah.
in Lights Out, you don't even know if they're recovering or not. Like in regular round, I can see they're not recovering. I know, well, I ain't gonna go get them. They're just they don't want to continue. So I have learned, if people want out of the game, I do not go unhook them. I do not go pick them
Yeah,
up.
we had a lot of people trying to kill themselves on hook. Again,
Well, yeah.
going to their saves or pick up to recovery, find that they're not, and then the killer's just there.
Well, not just that. Usually they want out, so then they'll just go throw the next pallet. I've had survivors like sandbag me or just follow me, like if I do save them and they didn't want to be in the round. So they just make the round miserable.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They try to get you killed as well. So that is the lesson I've learned the hard way many times.
With that, with the Michael match we had where we bribed the killer, we had a Michaela who, after mocking unhooked her, ran to half the other side of the map where I was in a corner healing and found me. And then she ran and she found mocking, but also like she was perpetually injured. So the Michael initially was just following her around the map as she was sandbagging
Great.
everybody. And that's how he was finding us. Not because he was generally coming and finding us, it's because I believe she was cheating because there's no way that she knew where I was.
She came up right
Um,
to us. It
she
wasn't like
came
she
up right to
wandered
us.
around and was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
she
you're
was
over here." Like,
directly going to where people were.
yeah.
So the Michael was just leaving her injured,
And just
following
you.
her to find people.
It was very weird. She died. It's okay.
Yeah, and
We
then we were
lived.
able to bribe, and
We
then he let us do
He
the
thought
gens
we
and
were
leave.
funny.
Yeah,
We left him presents.
Oh, see?
They're still good in this world. There's still some good
Yeah.
killers in this world.
They're so good in this world.
that one Michael, the two escapes we had out of the 50 games we played.
I know. If you want a positive note, if you do escape Lights Out, it does count towards the Power Moves achievement.
I did get that the very first
Yes,
match we
Yay.
got
we got
escaped.
it.
I had one I needed to do and I got it. That is a positive thing I'll take away on the very first match we played.
Yeah, the first day,
So
everyone's trying to figure out what's going on. So,
yeah,
and now that
it was
time is
just
over.
lucky.
Now
Yep,
that
that's
time is
it.
over. I
By
know.
day 2, everyone killers were like, "We got this. Let's play all the killers that can actually see stuff."
Well,
Which is still like it's not like, and I get like they thought like, well, let's give you chests with more items, and there's been tons of maps to find gens, but it still doesn't negate like that the killers still have powers.
yeah,
Like,
and not all killer powers are created equal,
yeah, they're not all
obviously.
created equal.
There are some that are more powerful than others, and there are definitely some killers that dominate in this mode. Now that we've complained, I guess my next question for us to think about that I had was, what is the purpose of the new game modes? Because I guess I had the assumption they were going to do new game modes to kind of liven up the game, and I was hoping they'd be more on the funner side, the
Yeah,
more enjoyable. Because while this is a change of pace, this is not a game mode like I would like go back to if it was like a permanent game mode. Like I would not like
yeah.
want to
I think
want to
it
go
would
visit
fizzle
it
out very
unless I had
fast.
a challenge to do it. I would not like go
Yeah.
play it. I would not seek out this Lights Out mode
I
the way it
wouldn't
is
go
right
visit it
now.
as a survivor. As a killer, it's actually kind of a chill mode.
It is very
It's
chill.
it's very chill as a killer, and I think that's why killers like it. But as a survivor, it really it's not. Like I wouldn't be like, you know what I want to do today? I've been thinking about it all day, guys. I want to go play Lights Out. Like that wouldn't be my first thing. And I'll admit, I was the first one with everyone I've played with. After a couple games, I'm like, "Are you sure you want to continue with this? Are you having fun? Like, can we just go play regular?"
Yeah.
I miss my
Like the lights
perks.
out rift you can do in the regular gameplay. Like, can we just go play regular? Like, if I'm gonna get tunneled out and it's gonna be sweaty, I want to see everything at least.
Yeah, right.
I want to be able to see the environment.
I
Thank
want
you.
to be able to see. I want to have my distortion. I want to have life. It's same thing. The lights don't have to be on. Let's go, get tunneled in regular gameplay.
Yeah.
That is really how I imagined the maps would have would be like super dark like that, but
Well, some of them
in regular
kind of
game
used to
mode.
be,
I mean,
but
they
they
used to be,
reworked
not
them.
anymore.
Like Macmillan used to be very well, it was very blue, but it was darker.
Yeah.
Not saying not as dark as Lights Out, but since they've reworked a lot of the maps, I feel like they're not as scary. They've lightened a lot of them. Because like Cold One was not in the day.
Just
It did not.
daytime.
Yeah.
It was not daytime originally, y'all.
It was
Like
dark,
it
yeah.
was dark. Like they had dark maps, and they changed them all up. I'm hoping that they come out with some game modes that are more chill on both sides. Because
Yeah.
I feel like that's what the purpose of the game mode was supposed to be because of how sweaty regular DBD is. And not everyone wants to play sweaty. A lot of people want to play casual, and I don't think they're ever going to do a split into like competitive and casual game modes. That's what a lot of people would like, even though I know you can make the argument that, the sweaty killers will just hop in the casual, but it's something better than nothing, right?
True.
To, at least make the effort to see if it could work. And I know one of the criticisms before the mode came out was that a lot of people thought this was like a lazy mode. Like, we're just going to make it darker
Turn the
and
lights
turn
off.
turn everything off. And yes and no, I guess. I don't know. That's why I wanted us to wait and play it before we talked about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's lazy. I don't know, because we did that whole. Remember, we did the whole survey with all the different
Yeah.
like ideas of game
Yeah.
modes, and this is
This
the
wasn't on
one.
there,
Well, didn't
right?
they?
Was it on
Did
there?
I thought they had a dark
Like a
one.
dark
I
mode?
do not recall this on there, but it
I
I
don't
don't
might
know.
be.
Maybe
recall that
not.
on
They
there.
may have already had this set up, so they didn't put it on
So
there.
they didn't put it on there.
I feel like there was
They
maybe one that was darker or some. I don't
Then why did
remember
they ask us all those questions?
because I don't if because I feel like another mode that would be kind of lazy to do or easy to do would be a 2v8. And I think people would have liked that better.
Oh, that was on there for sure.
That was on
2v8 was
there.
on there.
And there's a mod
Yeah.
for 2v8 too.
Yeah,
So
I don't remember this being on there, but again, it could be because that they were working on it. But it would have been so funny if they did put it on there and then find out that no one wanted it. Like, and I don't know if they thought like quote unquote simplifying the game would make it more chill when it's not that at all. Like, uh, I just even going on like people who play killer, they were all like, this is heavily killer sided because again, the killer still has their perks, and depending on the killer, all killers are not, well, not I'll say perks, but power.
the power, yeah.
And all powers are definitely not created equal. And I will admit, after a couple of rounds in, almost everyone was playing something where they could still see you, whether it was Lady Voldemort or Legion or like Bird Mommy, and then of course the killers that can move fast across the map, a lot of Wesker, or killers that themselves can move. Sadako, Demi, like, and it's just kind of like, well, like what's the point if they're still teleporting around the map, right? Like, or they can still see where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that, if they kick all the gens down, and I think that's funny as well, like whoever was doing this, did they not think that there were going to be killers kicking gens? Like, I saw a lot of killers, like, for example, like Spooky was playing killer. He was leaving them at the 5% and going on and just trying to find people. But did they not think that someone was going to be like, oh, I can still kick the gens so they can't find them? So if you don't
Especially
know
since
why
they
they're
can
on the
see him.
map. Yeah.
Especially those killers can see him. Of course they're gonna kick him. I mean, I think Spooky's a good enough killer. Like he can tell like if there's progress and like
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
you
sure.
could. It's like, do you want to take the time to kick the gen if you know it's at 5%? Probably not.
Yeah.
Um, but eventually you're going to get to a point in the game where survivors are working on gens, and you may just kick even the one that's at 5%. Because you suspect someone's there. Like they
I was
should make
like,
it so it's 5% period. Like
period.
it
Like,
stays at
don't
5%.
give us an advantage and take it away. So that's part of the reason I was like, I don't think that they thought about this mechanically, and I don't think that they gave us enough information in regards to what we weren't going to have. because we all got in there and we're all like, oh, I can't see anything. Like, I don't
Hmm.
know healing progression. I don't know gens. I don't know if I could go pick up that person. I don't know how long is it taking. Like, in darkness, opening a chest like takes 3 years. Like, I'm like, oh my God. I was healing people and I'm like, why is it taking 25 minutes to heal you? That's what it feels like. Because, like, your adrenaline's pumping, everything is amped, and you're just in a constant state of, like, terror because you can't see anything. And again, some people might like that. This might be someone's favorite mode ever. But I think a lot of people were hoping that they were going to go in and it was going to be like, ha, fun, jump scares. Oh, this is so much fun. And in reality, we're like, I don't know where to run. I don't
I
know what this loop is. I can see where the killer is now because they just downed somebody, but I think they left out too much, and I think I agree that give us old school Iron Will. Have the pools of blood, like
Ooh,
find a way
yeah.
to level it out more.
yeah.
Make it so the gens can't regress past the 5%. Um, give us, maybe even just something as like random items around the map, random med kits, random, not just like chests. I don't know.
I did. This is
I
like
could,
Ooh, I have ideas.
it's like hardcore mode for Survivor. Is what it feels
Yeah.
like because you don't have anything and you can't see your teammates. You can't. You have you have like no information. This is hardcore mode basically. You have no information because what has been the issue with solo queue information, which is why they
Survivor
changed the
just
HUD and
proved their
all of
point.
that. Like,
Hmm.
Sorry, Survivor behavior just proved their point. Lack of information makes it harder.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And even though the killer has no add-ons and all that, they can still see the gen ors. I'm sorry, we're gonna keep going back to that. I'm like, take that away, level it out, because otherwise, yeah, that's how the killers are still winning because they know where to go.
They can just patrol.
Yeah, they just patrol. The 3 gen, it's like all the issues with DBD are brought up in this game mode. 3 genning, lack of information. Like it's all
Yeah.
in this game mode as Survivor.
What was your idea,
Yes,
Oh,
Morbid.
no,
Morbid?
I was thinking of, like, funny game modes they can do, and I just want one where, like, we're all dressed up as, like, scarecrows or something, or, like, snowmen. I don't know, I feel like it would be more fun.
Well,
Do a
like a
prop hunt.
prop hunt, like a prop
Yeah, like
hunt
a
thing, I
prop
think would
hunt.
be so much
Yeah.
fun. And to me, that is a chill game mode. You're a prop, and you have to
Yeah,
change however long due to
And
time constraints.
which I really thought they were gonna bring to the game, but I guess it's probably hard to add that in as,
well, they
like,
have it
a
on mobile.
coding. See? Mobile gets everything.
So I don't feel like behavior knows what
Damn it,
the
mobile.
players want as far as game modes. Like that we want to chill out. We
Yeah, we
want to
wanna
chill
just
out.
hang
That's
out.
what we want with these other game modes. We don't want to be more sweaty. I don't want to sit on gens. I
I just
want to
wanna
do
high
something
five
else.
people.
I want to be a pallet in prop hunts.
I want
And
to be a Jen.
Make me a
I
palette,
want
damn it.
to laugh. I think people are kind of tired of the sweatiness and seriousness of this
Yeah.
game. And this game used to be a lot more fun when it was not balanced. I know there's been several content creators that have said this, but the game was a lot more fun when it was not balanced. And they have balanced it and they keep continuing to balance it. And it's
Too
gotten
much balance.
sweatier and sweatier and sweatier because they've tweaked things. And so then killers think they have to tunnel to win. And it's just
And
been like this. You
you don't have to
don't.
do that.
Well, I don't know. It's just because people take this game so
Very
seriously.
seriously.
And I wish it went back to a state of not being so serious because it's kind of like when I think about the content creators I watched at the beginning, I did watch a lot of serious ones so I could learn how to loop and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I eventually got tired of like this is like too much. Like people watching content creators that only like cared about like pipping up, before we had the new MMR stuff, try to get the red rank and grind it out. And finally, I was like, I want to go watch fun people. Like,
Yeah, right.
people, like, that's how I got into watching Puppers and like him heading, like, how many
Oh,
head ons can you
puppers.
get? Like, he was just so fun. So I started like moving towards like content creators like that and like spookies
Yeah,
like
like
that
spooky
too.
loops, so
Spooky,
fun.
yeah. Like, I want to watch people have fun with this game because I don't want to watch a comp game and I don't I think people want to have fun in this game. I think people want to
I
chill
want to have fun.
and do their rift challenges and not have to worry about being tunneled out because it's just really serious and it's really sweaty in the game. And I think if they're going to keep their player base up, they need to come out with something better than Lights Out and something more fun, something that people are going to actually like want to play and talk about. I don't like Queen said, like there are people that like played it for like a couple hours and they're like, I'm done. Because I think unless you play killer,
I made it
you're
2
you're not
matches.
gonna wanna yeah. You're not gonna unless you're playing killer, you're probably not gonna want to play this mode. I mean you can play this mode chill as killer and not be sweaty. But I also feel like this mode is also very easy for killer, like we've said. And so it's kind of like Queen, you talked about your match where you're like about 4K'd and like
I shouldn't have
yeah.
gotten as close
I
as I
think
did.
I think this mode is also
Dang.
bad for new killers because there's no scratch marks and as a new
Hmm.
killer, part of like the skill you have to learn as a new killer is tracking the scratch marks because it's not like a straight line with an arrow. Like they kind of show up everywhere and they're kind of initially hard to track at first, especially on some of the maps. But then you're talking about having this dark mode and having no scratch marks and having to follow pools of blood. Because I think in
Yeah.
their little article you read, they said it's for all experience of like
No,
survivor
not at
killers. And
all.
I'm
Like,
like, no, it's
no.
not, baby. Survivors and killers. This mode is not made for. This is not made for them.
I can
Yeah.
confirm that. I totally lost every single chase I was in. And honestly, all I was doing, I was just a Michael doing max stock, waiting till I got tiered up all the way. I waited for them to group up and then I went and knocked them all down. The only reason they got out is the one person I missed had a flashlight, got a flashlight save, and it kind of, then I went and knocked him down again, and then they got another flashlight save. And by that point, like doors were already open. I was like, okay, my little butterflies, go ahead and leave. Like,
It was
Go
fun.
but
fly free.
at the same time, as I was playing, I was like, I suck at killer. I should not have gotten this close. I just waited for them to mess up and went in there and stabbed everybody. Like, I will admit that I was like, oh, well, I can understand why people would be playing killer because one, it feels good when it feels great as survivor and you escape. It feels good as a killer when you probably 4K. I mean, at one point, it's right now, but at one point it was like Survivor. They were giving like $150, 100, not $150,
Yeah.
150%
Ooh.
blood point bonus to play
Man, I
Survivor.
should be playing
I mean, I do need to get Alan to
for
P100
money.
eventually, but
I mean, right now
I
it's
don't know if
Twitch. I
it's
just
worth
pulled it
it.
up. I just pulled it up and it's killer, but for the bonus. But I think people, I was watching Spooky and he was like, again, it's the longevity of a modifier like this. Like if it was permanent, I don't think it would have a lot of longevity,
No.
Yeah.
especially solo queue people, because now you're just even literally more in the dark. And as a killer, you have a good advantage in regards to the things that you can see. So I could understand why people are playing killer because, essentially, again, it's not skill. Like you're not winning because you're a skilled killer. You're winning because survivors literally have nothing. They don't know where to go unless they already know the maps. They're not sure where pallets are. And I get that's supposed to up like the terror in the game,
Hmm.
but to me it frustrates me when I can think of like I would love a 2v8. I think if there was a 2v8, I'd be more inclined to play killer cuz then I could play with a friend.
Oh yeah, that would be
If
Hmm.
they
fun.
did it that way. If they did it
Yeah.
to where you could group up and have
Two
a
killers.
kill with your friends.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that would be amazing. I know a lot of people who would love to do a kill with friends.
I know.
That
and
would be a
do
lot. That'd
that.
be really cool.
I'm surprised they didn't come out with that since Texas Chainsaw came out.
I
Like
know.
Yeah.
to compete with Texas Chainsaw.
That was the big selling point for that.
And
But
I just feel like 2v8 would also be a lot of like
a lot of
chaos
fun.
too.
Yeah, so much chaos.
Just bring the chaos. People want the chaos. I don't
We
think they
do.
Bring the
understand that.
chaotic stuff.
We want the chaos. That's
Yeah.
like going back to like the game was better when it was unbalanced. Give me the chaos. Get rid of
Give us the crazy.
MMR.
Give us the
Get
crazy stuff.
That's why like MMR has ruined this game. Like I know everyone wanted
Yeah.
it because experienced players got tired of playing with, the babies, the newbies, and I get that. But like how it is now, I'm just like I miss the good
I
old
miss back in the
days.
day. I miss back in the day of there being a baby and us being like, you know what, no matter what happens, we're getting this baby out. And just the chaos
Exactly.
that ensues from trying to protect that newbie,
You're like,
like
get away from
and
the map.
babysitting them and trying to get them out.
I
Um,
liked it. I liked having like the the chance to play like a big like sweaty killer and then the next one you just have like a baby killer and I'm like, this is great.
Yeah. It
just
was
relax.
and then if you lose, like you're just like, well, we had a baby survivor. Or there's like it's not as big of a deal because it's so
Yeah,
unbalanced.
for sure.
So it's just like, well, we had a really experienced killer. They're really good.
Yeah.
Or but then like you said, the next round it'll be more chill. So it's like you have a variety. Because with
Yeah, you had the baby
MMR,
nurse, so you're
yeah.
like, oh, you know what? Try blinking to me.
Come here. I'm like, you can do it.
We're gonna
Yeah.
You can do
practice your
it.
hits.
Yeah, we had fun with it.
But
Is there
no, I
anything
just,
anything else lights out?
I
Oh.
don't know. I don't think I have anything more to say with Lights Out. I think we've said a lot.
I went through all my
Uh,
points. I wrote some down. So
yeah, we probably repeated stuff. I think at the end of the day, to me, like, if I'm looking at this objectively and not because of things I like and dislike, again, as you guys know, I don't like being scared. So that whole aspect is not a point in favor for me to play this. But mechanically speaking, I think that they should have taken away some things like, Mocking said, Gen Auras. I think survivors should have had something where you can't hear them, like Iron Will. Balance it more like that. I am a little disappointed that it's not accessible for everybody, especially people who are hearing impaired or people who have some type of visual impairment. For example, like my roommate, she is blind in one eye, so she tends to not play the regular game. Sometimes I can get her to play because she does like being scared, so she wants to play it. But she saw this and she was like, "Yeah, no way am I playing that." So I do feel like that it just sucks that it's not accessible to all the fan base if they have some type of disability. And I'm not sure that if this is what people wanted because I do feel like people kind of were like my only goal right now is just to complete the Lights Out Rift, and I don't even have to do that in Lights Out.
Yeah, which
yeah.
is really weird that they didn't make it to where you had to play in that mode to get it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because what else? There's not anything going back to this mode. Like, there's nothing creative to do in this mode. Because what are the
Mm-mm.
challenges? It's like the stir birds, right?
Mhm.
So it's like
Get
Do
do
12 skill
unhooked,
checks or
skill
pick a
checks,
gen.
skill
unhooks,
checks, unhooks, and then gold
emblems,
emblem.
right? So it's all
I
kind of
think
stuff
they
that's in the regular.
simplified it, like they made it somewhat easy, which I can get, but it's also like you can't really do your challenges in this. Like I've had the same challenge to sabotage hooks. I don't know where they are. Like, and I can't bring in something.
Yeah.
So they didn't create a mode where you could do your other challenges. And I get that you can hop over, but I think if you have a mode, you should be able to still do basic gameplay. Like I should still be able to do my challenges and stuff in there. But yeah, it's just kind of lackluster, not what I wanted. If people are having a good time playing, kudos to you. My question will be, are you playing killer or survivor? Because if you're playing killer, I can understand. If you're playing survivor solo and you're liking it, I
Leave a
can
comment. We want to
counsel.
know.
Yeah, leave a
Right?
comment. But I can
Who
also
hurt
direct
you?
you some really good counselors.
Send you some
if
whiskey.
if you're swiffing, like I get it's if you're with your friends, no matter what's going down, you can have a fun time. But we did find that after a while, we were like, let's just go play regular, or let's go play
Let's go play
one of
paleo.
let's go play Palia.
Let's play something happy.
Yeah, happy
Which
place.
is like our new game, Obsession, the game that's in beta. Let us know if you've been playing Palia. We love
Yeah,
it.
it's
It
great.
is. We do.
We're obsessed.
Yeah, we are kind of
Queen has
obsessed.
several boyfriends, and
Mm.
Oh yeah. I'm accepting applications. Only in Palia, not in real life. I don't know if my actual boyfriend would appreciate that.
no, no, no,
He does
no. I
listen to
just
the
meant all
podcast.
the
Uh-oh.
NPCs you have like on the wall.
Oh
Like
yes. Yeah,
I was talking about those. You're
I love
collecting.
Okay, I am the kind of person that did buy the Dead by Daylight dating sim. What was it called? Hooked on You. I
Yeah.
love a good dating sim. So yeah, that was something fun and chaotic that Behavior did.
Yeah, it was cute.
Behavior, give me a dating sim update. Like I want to date other people in the game.
Oh, well, yeah. When is there going to be a part two of Hooked on
But
You?
That's a
yeah,
good
Because I
question.
think it did well, didn't it? I
I
feel like
think
it was
so.
I
positively
think it
received.
did well because it was just pure chaos. I love the cosmetics they brought into the actual game
Oh yeah.
for killers and survivors. I like stuff like that. I felt like that was cool because you kind of opened up DVD to the whole community of people that love dating sims. The storylines are pretty good. I played through all of them. I still need 100% it, but in regards to all the accomplishments you can get from like dating the different killers in there, I got them all the different storylines. It was just interesting. That's just something different I want. It had that oomph, you know what I mean? Like give me the
Hmm.
oomph behavior. Like that's what I want. That 2v8 prop hunt, hide and go seek, something where I'm not doing gens. Like I would love to have some of game mode where I don't have to do gens. Give me something else. Sorry, I just like hit my mic. My
Oh,
hands
she's
are
the
flailing,
plant.
You're
guys.
like
I'm getting
now
very
behavior,
emotive.
now behavior.
I do that when I get passionate. My hand, I talk with my hands. Yeah, give me something else. Like kudos for trying something new,
Give her
right?
what she wants.
Yeah, I don't want to be like this is awful. I'm glad that they tried something new. I'm sure that a lot of people had fun with it. It just wasn't my cup of tea. And you know what? That's okay. Um,
Agreed.
I felt like it could have been executed in a different way where it would have felt more cohesive, if that makes sense. And I really wish that if someone's going to write a post that tells me everything that I need to know about the modifier, please actually put everything in so we're not
Yeah.
confused.
Include some things we should know.
Yes,
Well, they don't
Thank
have
you.
a really good track record with that. Remember when they
I
changed Blast
know.
Mine and didn't like
Hmm.
say
Oh
anything?
yeah.
Yeah, they don't. They're not good with
That way we don't
presenting
have to
information.
speculate. Like we don't have to be like, one person's video is like, they don't have the anti-camp mechanic. Another one's like, well, yeah, they do. Like people are confused. And
Yeah.
that takes away from the gameplay because then you're just like, well, now I have to figure out is this in there? Is this not in there?
And again,
What
there's no
can I not
customs,
see? Yeah, there's
so they
no
can't test
customs,
it.
which would have been a lot of fun
I
having
think
customs.
I think if they do put this in, if they want to put it in permanently, they should. It needs to go under custom. Like
Yeah.
just if I wish they would just make some custom game modes you could play with your friends.
Agreed.
Because I don't know if anyone would really play this outside
I wouldn't
of
want to
custom.
play without friends. I would love to play with friends because then it's fun. I know a lot of I have a friend in particular I'm thinking of that, after a hard day of work, we used to let her get on and kill us as ghosty. She would love this mode.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
It would be terrifying for us, but she would love it
She'd
and
have a blast.
she'd have a blast.
Well, and like I started how I got into DBD was actually I was watching some content creators and they were playing kill your friends matches and they were
Yeah.
just having a blast. That's how I found out about this game was people like chilling with the game, not being sweaty. Yeah, if you can like enhance the custom game mode, that would be great, but I don't think that's a priority for them because they've already said in their AMA how they're not like adding any like better spectator options and stuff for like the comp game. So I don't foresee
It's a missed opportunity, but
it is, but they have
yeah.
priorities and it's not
The
the same as
behavior.
ours.
So I guess we'll see what happens. Yay, kudos for trying something new. I don't think it was executed super well, mechanic wise. I think it essentially I don't like using the word balance, but they could have made it more to where give survivors some type of edge or put the survivor and killer on more of a level playing field, especially since the killer still has their power.
You can
Or
see Jen's.
recognizing that some killer powers are gonna shine more than others in this mode, which means that survivors are automatically be at a disadvantage without having anything. I mean, hey, you know what? Put them in there, but make them not have killer instinct. Like,
Oh my god.
make it seriously just like
Just an M1 killer.
Bare
M1
bones.
killer.
That would be totally different if it was just an M1 killer.
Hmm.
I don't know how appealing that would be to killers, but it would make it more balanced. But I don't know. I feel like part of the issue is, as we've talked about, is their bad spaghetti code and all that. And I feel like we're like, yeah, just do this, and they probably tried doing it and
It
break the
would break the
game. It would
game.
break the game and it'd crash. Like it's too hard for them to do these things because of how the game was set up initially. I don't really foresee them putting too much work in these custom game modes because they don't make any money off of it.
Yeah.
Like they are a business. I feel like a lot of their decisions are for financial reasons, why they prioritize some stuff over others. And it makes sense. I get it, they're a business.
Mhm.
That's why they keep doing the chapters every 3 months and they're never going to take a month off for game health or to fix their game.
Or even just something simple. But one of the big things we've been asking for forever, a perk roulette game mode. You
I
tested it.
know.
A lot of people
And
had
never
so much fun with that.
do that.
Yeah,
Because
do
then if you
that.
die, you're
Sure.
just like, I had crappy perks, so well.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you do that, please have a description of what the perks are. Like we can hover over it or it like tells us if we don't play them. That'd be my only thing. But that
Yeah.
was fun because that did create like a level of chaos depending on the perks you got. And it also is an introduction to perks maybe you don't use before and finding combinations. Something like that. Just I feel like that
That would help
is
sell
something simple.
chapters.
Yeah, that you could put in to just have a fun time.
Spring percular roulette. Do it
Yeah,
now.
perk roulette. Like,
Because it's
They,
in the Rift.
yeah, they
yeah,
are.
it's in the
People
Rift.
already like it,
Yeah.
so it's not like they're gambling too much on that one if people want it or not. Because I think, yeah, that's good chaos, and it just like livens up the game a bit. It doesn't have to be
Hmm.
major. Like the 2v8 would be, I feel like it would be easier to do too. And I mean, they've gotten over the big hurdle. I was watching Scott Jen talk about them implementing this, and he was like, you probably have to recognize the thing that probably took the longest is them making a separate queue.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take years
Oh.
for them to update the lobby screen according to their AMA. So I'm sure this queue was something else for them to do. But now they have it set up. So hopefully now they can just like insert new game modes into this queue.
Right.
Hopefully. Cross your fingers. We'll see.
We'll see how it works.
Any other thoughts?
I feel like I've ranted enough for
We have ranted. We've
today.
gone around in
Yeah.
circles, and
Our true feelings have come
We'll
forth.
edit that in post.
yeah, it's okay. Y'all can just listen to us ramble. We didn't really like firmly like. This is what we're going to talk about all in lights mode. It was just kind of like go.
We came in with pure chaos. We're
Yeah.
like, we're not scripting this one or anything. There's someone gonna be like, well, yeah, I can tell. But you know what? Sometimes chaos is a little good, okay? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chaos reigns
it's
sometimes,
just something new.
Facts.
it's our podcast. We're just going to talk. This is what we're supposed to. We're just talking.
Yeah.
It's what a
We're
podcast is.
just three friends shooting the breeze after probably a stressful Monday. I know mine was.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hmm.
Woo. Okay, so should we wrap it up?
Okay. Yeah, we can wrap
Sure.
it up. Well, thanks you for listening to our rant podcast episode. Who knows?
17. I had to go
17.
look.
Yep.
17. Just a few
My
more to
birthday's on
20.
the 17th.
There you go.
Yay! Happy birthday
To
to
Aw,
you.
you.
I'm turning
Happy
21
Happy
again.
birthday to you.
birthday.
Everyone's turning 21.
Happy birthday,
Day,
dear
dear queen.
queen.
Aw, thank
Happy
you.
birthday to
Birthday to
you.
you.
So, yeah, it's my birthday month, DVD, so you have to do what I say
Yeah, give her something fun.
Yeah.
for my birthday.
Yeah. Like, give her this boat. That'll be gone at
Since you didn't
least.
since you didn't do anything fun for my birthday for January.
I know.
Way to go,
I
DVD.
know.
You dropped the ball.
We're just gonna start being like, I got no birthday present from you behavior. But thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you. We hope everyone's having a wonderful February so far. Please give us your thoughts. Did you like the mode? Did you not like it? Also, really important, depending on that, do you play killer or survivor? Do you think that with some few changes they can be better? Did you like it as it is? Let us know in the comments or uh, the doodly things below wherever this is posted.
Yeah, right.
I couldn't think of the word.
It's late, y'all. It's late.
It's been a Monday. But as oh my gosh, guys, I don't know if I can remember my closing.
What?
Um
You could do it. Yeah, I
I
believe in you.
totally like yeah, hold on. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I think it's like, as always, we wish you a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And bye.
Bye.